Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Saritha and today I'm going to be talking about my Testimony Thursday. And I try to do this every Thursday if I can, but if a testimony does happen in my life, I'll just save it and I'll post it. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get into the story. So I was driving down the highway. I was on my way to IKEA. I remember it like it was yesterday. And as I was driving, this is me and this is the other car. Okay, and I'm driving, I'm good, got my seatbelt on, just listen to my music, minding my business. And then this young lady, she comes over and she just hits me, and it causes my car to spin, like fly over and then land upside down. And it ran in, it hit a tree, like it hit it because it was like, I was kind of like in the air a little bit because like where it's at, it's like a dip and then it's like a bunch of trees. So I flew over the dip and flew right into the tree, if that makes sense. So when I flew into this tree, I landed upside down, and for a minute I just kind of blacked out and I just wasn't like really comprehending what had happened. And so I'm just sitting there, and then it had to be the devil. I don't know why these type of thoughts were in my mind, but I was sitting there thinking like, God, let this car blow up, because if I get out this car and I continue on just living, I'm not going to have a car. My car is my means of transportation. My car is my job at this time. I just pretty much got me an apartment. I'm finally on my feet. I'm not in my car. I'm not on somebody's couch, on somebody's floor, God. Why, when I finally have it together, you know, you would allow this to happen? And so I was so upset, y'all. I was so upset. And I prayed and asked God to forgive me for having those type of thoughts at that time. But that's just what I was thinking. Like because I had to, for so long growing up, I was in survival mode. Like, dang, how am I going to get my money? That was what I was thinking about. Like, how am I going to live, because I didn't have any financial support or anything like that at all in any way. So after the car was upside down, I eventually got out the car by myself. There was no one with me. And as I got out of the car, there were like 5 people standing like on the side of the highway where, the accident occurred. And so I got out, and after those thoughts were running through my mind, I just started like bawling out, crying. And then there was this lady there, and she just gave me a hug, and she just was hugging me so tight. And it was weird because the hug, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not doing that. Because the hug felt like my grandmother's hug. When my grandmother hugs, she wasn't really like a lovey-dovey, like mushy person. She was a strong woman. She was very like kind of stern in a way. So when she would hug and you were like really crying, she would hug you tight and pat my back like really hard, right? Like, it's okay, you good, you good. And the lady, she was hugging me very tight like her and was patting my back. So it was like really weird. And so those thoughts that I was having, it kind of went away because I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm sorry. That was very selfish of me. I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful. And I feel like my mom is here. And God knows that's something I struggle with to this day, her not being here and me just feeling so lost sometimes without her being here and just being in this world and adulting and growing up. And ooh, it's a lot. But so I was grateful for that lady for hugging me. And so she was hugging me. She asked me, is anybody in the car? I'm like, no, I'm by myself. And I said, did anybody see what happened? Like, what happened? And then they were all like, yes, we're witnesses. The police is on the way right now, and there's an ambulance coming. We got you covered. And so I'm like, okay, thank you guys so much. And so there was the lady. She let me sit in her car and just sit there, and I'm just crying and crying and crying. And I just didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know what to do. There was literally like nobody I could call. And that's what really kind of hurt. It's like, dang, who can I call? Like, who would show up, to the hospital? Who can I call right now? And I just only thought of one person, and she wasn't even here in Atlanta with me. So, so I'm sorry, y'all. So I called her, and told her what happened. and just was like, I don't know what to do. I just was talking to her, just trying to figure out like I was just in a shock, and I was like, what should I do? And she was talking to me, and then we got off the phone, and she started talking to the lady, and the lady was telling her what had happened and everything, and that was pretty much it. And she told me to give the emergency people her phone number if I need anything or whatever. So that was literally the only person that I thought to call that I knew, cared or whatever, or that could do anything, or that I felt like would want to do anything. So after that, the ambulance finally arrived, and I go to the hospital and the emergency room, and they take care of me and everything like that. And out of all the people who claimed to be there for me, there was one more person that I called, right? And that was a person who told me, I had been knowing that person for a very long time. It was one of the people that I knew in Atlanta when I first got here, right? And so, I told the nurse, hey, the nurse asked me if there's anybody that could pick you up. And I said, well, hey, call this person because I know them and they live here. She calls the person, and the person is like, oh, is she okay? Is she alive? And then they're like, yeah. And then the person was like, oh, okay, well, tell her I hope she feel better. And I'm going to try to get somebody to come out there and get her. Never called back, never came. But that's neither here nor there. Still grateful that God protected me. And so then I'm thinking, wow, who can I call that can just simply come pick me up from this place? And so I reached out to my sister that goes to my church. And she came. Sorry. And she came. And not only did she come, there were other people from my church who came to support me and be there for me. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry, y'all. And when I looked up, because they had me on some medicine, and when I looked up and I seen that it was my church, the people from my church were the only people there to support me and be there. But, it may be a case to where, most people that are my family live out of town, so they can't just jump up and go. But when I woke up and I seen that it was just them, I'm just like, wow, God, like, you are protecting me. You have built me a community. You have given me a family. You have given me a family that I can call on, that can be there for me. God, thank you for providing for me. And in that moment, I just broke down because I was just grateful but I was just grateful, and I was just like mad at myself for thinking how I was thinking at first. But I was so grateful. I was so grateful that somebody came and somebody was able to pick me up because I couldn't move like that. Like I was a little stiff and still a little in pain. And so, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And so, I'm thinking that, okay, God, thank you. I appreciate you. But what now? I'm just like, going through it, and I'm just in a desperate mode. So I reach out to this girl on YouTube that I support. That's what the last video was about. And my people from church took me home and everything was good, but I still didn't have a car, and I'm just like stuck, like, yo, what am I gonna do? I can't pay my rent. I can't do nothing. So I reached out to her. Ooh. Okay, come on, get it together. So I reached out to her, and I just kind of was asking her, like, what she think I should do, because I had watched her video, and I had really been like convicted to like reach out to her, because she was saying like she doesn't like when people do GoFundMe. She thinks that people should be more responsible and financially, which I agreed. And that's why I reached out. I'm like, hey, like, this is what happened to me. How do you think I should go about it? I don't really want to do a GoFundMe because of what you said, and I hate depending on people too. But like, what avenue would you recommend? And so that, if you go watch the last video I posted about Leah Gordon, you'll get to hear the rest of the stuff that happened after that. And so after that, you know, after all of this crying, I only had liability. I didn't have financial help. I couldn't get a loan or anything because I was in debt. So I was just stuck. I felt like, right? And so, mind you, they said that they seen it, but the person kept driving. So it was a hit and run. So I'm like, yo, now I really ain't got nothing, because this person hit me and I can't even cover myself. So I'm like, all right, guys, so what now? And I'm still a little mad, but I'm still grateful at the same time. It was like a in-between feeling. Like, I was just feeling a lot at once. And so I ended up going to Indianapolis and staying with this lady, the lady that they called that, you know, I'm kind of close to. And so I went there, and she just prayed over me, and she was just so supportive, and she still is, you know, pretty supportive to this day. And I'm just trying to figure out what to do. And you know, she knows everything. So I get a call, y'all. I get a call. Who is it from? So I get a call from the police, I think, and they're like, hey, you know, we just want to give you an update on your accident. You'll be able to get the files via the whatever website where you check to, you know, see accidents or something like that. I forget what it is. But they called me to tell me that they found out who the driver was based on the description that all the witnesses gave and from what I could remember. And the person had full coverage, and that my car would be taken care of. Whew. So when I got the call, I told her, and she just started like kind of shouting and just praying over me, and just like, I had never seen somebody be so happy for me in my life. So it was a little like weird, but like I was just in awe at the same time. Like, wow, this lady like cares that I got help. Like, I just never experienced somebody, like I said, being that happy for me. So, you know, she made me cry. I'm just start crying again, because I'm like, oh, you're happy for me, you know? And so I get the crying and everything, and she asked her brother, you know, because her brother lived in Atlanta. So she asked her brother, hey, do you mind helping her out when she gets back to Atlanta finding a car? And when I got back, the people paid me the same amount that they felt was equal to the type of car I had and everything. And then I was able to get me a car. And so I was just grateful for that. So from that experience, I took from it that no matter what the circumstance may look like, no matter what you go through or what you experience, you should just always have faith that God is going to work it out for the greater good, simply because God has plans to prosper you and not to fail you. And when you truly believe that, and I think that moment, I think God allowed that to happen because I was struggling with my faith a lot at that time. I really was. And I was getting a little too comfortable too in my situation. So he kind of shook me up a little bit and showed me that stop making other things or people your God, and know that I am your provider. I am the one who's going to take care of you. I'm the one who's going to make it happen for you. Not this person, not this thing, not this networking event, not this, not yourself. You have to rely on me for your strength, for everything that you need. And so when that happened, that just kind of restored my faith on a whole nother level, right? And I'm just like, wow, God, thank you so much. And I'm sorry that I doubted you. I'm sorry that I was so faithless and just threw you to the wayside like you haven't served me my whole life. You know, that just really helped me evaluate myself and really put myself in check. Like, are you serious right now? Though I understand it's justified that, you know, I had never been in an accident before. I never experienced anything like that before. So it was huge. So I was just like, I didn't know what was going to happen or what the case. But I'm glad it happened because it taught me to have faith no matter what happens, because God's gonna always come through. And the situation helped me to like rebuild my faith in a way that it's never been built before. To know that I thought that I was gonna have completely nothing, no car, no nothing, and God just turned that whole thing around so fast. Like, and I just had no idea. I thought it was over, y'all. I really did. So I'm just grateful for the lesson. I'm grateful for what I learned. And I pray that my testimony will help you if you're going through something, or if you went through something, or if you may go through something in the future. I pray that you will just know and really trust in God, and trust that He's going to provide for you and that He's going to look out for you. You just really need to stay in your word, stay consistent, build your community. Be around people who are going to support you, who are of the church, who are really, you can see the fruits of their life flourishing. You can see it. You know, just going to a church building is not enough. Just going and being a part of an experience is not enough. Just being a part of religious activity is not enough. Get invested. Get a community. You know, reciprocate love. Reciprocate, you know, helping each other. Like, that's really important. And that's what that taught me. Like, wow, y'all really care about me. Y'all really care about me. And that's why to this day, it's the best church I ever been to. I love them so much. I'm growing and I'm trying to become a better person, a better friend, you know, a better disciple. Just by seeing their life and just by what they did for me. I don't even think they understand how much it meant just for them to be there, just to be present, just to come, just to care enough to be in the building. You know, like, it's the simple things for me that matter. Money, I could care less. I could care less about material. Being there, that's priceless to me. I'm not doing this again. That's priceless to me. So I will always appreciate them. I will always love them. And I will always strive to do whatever I can to help them in any type of way. Not just because they did that, but because it's my duty. Because I'm supposed to serve the church, and the church is the people, and the people is my community. And God has blessed me with a great community of people to be around. And I pray that He blesses you with the same thing. I really do. Whew, it was a lot, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. I pray that it encourages you. I pray that, you know, it will lift up your spirits, and it will restore faith if you have been, you know, losing faith lately, or if you've been struggling with your spiritual life. I really do pray that this video helps. So thank you guys again for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm so grateful that you guys have decided to come and be a part of the Loyal Maverick family. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.